What is up, everybody? Sorry for the little backdrop music there. We want to get the intro going twice just to get a little remix. Keep it fresh. Speaking of fresh, woo! Oh, who's excited for tomorrow? Who is excited for tomorrow? I can't believe we are in the new year and we're gonna be watching some extra football. That's all I can say. Let's go. Super stoked. All right. Hey Roy, thanks for stopping out, my man. Let's get things kicked out here while we got some people hopping into the show. Jennifer, hey. I always like to start things out here. Thank you for tuning in to another fantastic episode of our podcast, powered by our incredible sponsor, Higher Love Cannabis of Michigan. When it comes to premium cannabis products right in the heart of Michigan, and to our friends to the north, in our case, Higher Love Cannabis is the best place to be. They've got everything you need to elevate your cannabis experience, from top-tier flower strains to mouth-watering edibles and more. Looking forward to trying those this weekend. Let's show some love and appreciation to Higher Love Cannabis for making this podcast possible. Really appreciate your support and kind of sticking your neck out and helping me with this venture. It doesn't go unnoticed. We got the little promo code at the top of the screen here for our listeners. Make sure you get a chance to check out their products and save a few bucks, because that's how they roll. But we love Higher Love. We love love. It's all about Higher Love. Without further ado, I don't have a drum roll. I'm going to try a drum roll here. We have a surprise guest, folks. Sound the alarms. Surprise guest. Oh, what's up, Josh? How's it going, my man?
Hey, everybody.
Doing well. For those who don't know, you've probably seen Josh around the page or in the group. He's been a huge supporter of the movement since day one. Actually, I think literally probably since day one. He was part of the Flower Pot, the first people to really reach out and to start collabing with the movement. So, Josh, if you kind of want to just give us a quick little background on how you got to be in the where you are now. It looks like you're in a dispensary, bro.
I am in the Flower Pot Appleton. This is our second location. We also have a hemp dispensary in De Pere, Wisconsin as well. So I'm a pain patient. I was on opioids for many years, and 8 years ago I decided to go completely natural, and I found cannabis, and it's been really great for me. I stopped taking opioids for pain management, and I got really passionate about it. So 3 years ago, a friend of mine, Jake, brought me into a dispensary setting, and I fell in love with it. I found my passion immediately, and I've been doing it for almost 3 years now. So we're trying to get good medicine, good hemp-derived products from Wisconsin in the hands of Wisconsinites who need it. And that's what we're here to do.
That's awesome, man. And we've got quite a few testimonies already. When people reach out and then they ask where they should go or that kind of stuff, I always ask them to just kind of follow up to make sure. I mean, not that I'm concerned that Josh wouldn't take care of them, but I just want to know their feedback, make sure they were able to find something, because you know how it is. Everybody's different, so sometimes even the best correlated object to try for your first time to help with pain or so on and so forth. Just always like to get that follow up, and I've heard great things about you guys that way too. So glad that
to educate, and when a customer walks in the door, we want to match them with the correct cannabinoid and product that is going to be most beneficial for them.
Sure. No, right on, man. Well, I appreciate you stopping out. I get to check in with Josh from time to time. I wish we both lived in the same town. That would help just a little bit, because when we talk, there's just a lot to talk about. So it's really nice when I get to stop out there while you're at the store. And we were going over the pill bill today, and felt like it would just be a great opportunity for us to get Josh's feet wet out here on the podcast, and also just to kind of help with breaking things down, because we got a lot to unfold with this one. And just to kind of a little backdrop. So obviously this bill has been out now, I think it's close to about 2 weeks, week and a half, 2 weeks. But again, when it came out, I shared some information from it, but I didn't want to give an official opinion on it until I did my research, check in with a couple people, so on and so forth. It sure seemed suspicious. Oh God, don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Sure seemed pretty sus, but if I've learned anything in this industry, it's just, let's just take a minute here, double check everything. Maybe we're missing something, but I think we'll start getting into it here, because let's get rolling. Real quick, we've got a couple people stopping out to say hi. We appreciate your support, guys. Appreciate you swinging out. We got anybody from Appleton in here? We got anybody in the Appleton crowd? Woo. Real quick, Josh, I think there's one thing we should probably do before we go do anything else.
Sure.
I think we are both pretty lucky to have these awesome women in our lives.
Very much so.
So shout out to my wife, Liza. Josh, you're very
Shout
significant.
out to my lovely partner and girlfriend, Kimberly. I love you.
Right. As we were getting set up, we both definitely were relying on our significant others. So,
yeah, definitely. They help us out quite a bit.
I think that's the norm. But
Yeah.
in case it's not, definitely want to make sure you guys know we love you. But no, let's start chopping up this bill, man. I went through it. We went through it a couple of times and came up with a few different points. One of the things that sticks out right away, and again, this. They do. I think this is being done on purpose because it's tough to say allowing some access to medical, a medical helper or to medication to say, oh, this is bad. But there's just so many things that don't add up in this bill. One of them is, in my opinion, would be the exclusion of smokable form. Obviously the bill's strictly for pill and tincture use. And have you ran into, Josh? Is there some people that doesn't even do? Some people need to smoke to have it actually break down. And
for breakthrough pain, especially. I mean, smoking cannabis is great for that because it's an immediate onset. So edibles can take 45 minutes to an hour, up to 2 hours for some people, depending on your endocannabinoid system. Everybody has a unique one that's unique to their own person. So yeah, I mean. I think people should have access to smokable cannabis. Absolutely. It's medically beneficial, and a lot of people choose to use multiple cannabis avenues. So not just smokables. I myself, as a cannabis consumer, I use edibles, I use flowers, I use cartridges. I like tinctures. I like RSO. There's so many different ways that you can get cannabis delivered into your system. And what works for one doesn't work necessarily as well for another person. So the more options we have to get cannabis, medication into your body, I think the better. So, and who really wants to go to a pharmacy and deal with that kind of stuff. I did that for many years when I was doctor prescribed opioids, and it's something I just don't want to do again. I much rather prefer the dispensary setting with educated bud tenders, that can really, get me the kind of medication that I'm seeking.
Sure. Well, and again, especially with cannabis, like we've been able to see, so we've both been in the industry here in Wisconsin, and we were actually kind of joking that, I feel like the duties as a good bud tender in Wisconsin, you have to be researching, educating, and learning even more about the plant because it does have so many uses in the alternative cannabinoids in your Delta 8, your Delta 10, so on and so forth. Like, and we've seen it time and time again. There's certain people that Delta 8 helps them more than Delta 9 does. Or there's certain people that Delta 9 is too psychoactive. Delta 8 can help strictly with the pain, but without being psychoactive. Yeah. Like it's definitely one of those things that it's not just, oh, here's what you need. It's going to do this. That's not cannabis. And even sometimes from day to day, it can affect people a little differently. Our endocannabinoid system's always changing. So I think
that we have those multiple alternative cannabinoids for people to experiment and really find what works best for them. So we have more noids at our disposal than other legal states because they're strictly Delta 9 and CBD, cannabinoids, stuff like that. But you're not going to find a lot of alternative cannabinoids in legal states like Michigan, Illinois, like that. Minnesota, yes, they are still using hemp-derived products, which is awesome. So they're kind of in that gray area right now as they get more towards legalization. As far so yeah,
sure.
I mean, that's.
And I think we can both attest. And I think even like, I think you could take this to almost any level of whether it's legislators, whoever, if they actually took the time and could see the benefits of the plant. There's a lot of the hemp has plenty of good benefits. CBD Delta 8 has plenty of good benefits, but we need
Yes.
to be making sure that it's done the right way.
Agreed.
And that's where,
Discussed
again,
that a lot today too, how, regulations need to come into play,
Yeah.
and since that there really is no oversight on the hemp industry right now and regulations, you need to find, like I've heard you say so many times, a reputable source. So,
Yep.
And when you come to places that have educated bud tenders that are passionate about cannabis and that are also cannabis consumers, and, that's where you want to go. You want to find people that, can help you out and educate you. So that's what we aim to do here.
Sure.
At the Flower Pot.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
And again, the reputable places do. So that's
Yeah.
awesome that you guys are like the reputable place in the Fox Valley here for the fine folks of Wisconsin. So
Absolutely. Thank you.
yep. And like Eric says, check those COAs. Absolutely.
Yeah. What's up, Eric?
Yeah, Eric. Moving on to our next questionable, whatever we're going to even call this with the pill bill, centralized regulation. So essentially what they're looking at doing with this bill would be the creation of the Office of Medical Cannabis Regulation, which would lead to centralized, potentially less efficient oversight. Centralization might slow down decision-making processes, impacting the agility and responsiveness of the regulatory framework. That's just the first thing that comes to mind when I hear of medical cannabis regulation. Obviously there's got to be something, but just the way that it's outlined in this bill is very open-ended, where I think, and I think we need to touch on something here real quick. I was going to save it towards kind of the end, but just thinking of this, I think we need to get this out of the way right away. This bill was brought to the public, or brought up for adoption by Senator Voss, who my understanding is, and from the looks of it, I'm pretty sure he worked on this bill only by himself, because you've got two key Republicans, one who's been trying to advocate for medical cannabis use for years now.
Yes.
And they're already spoke up like this bill doesn't make sense. We're not sure this bill could even work. Like the state-run dispensaries for Senator LeMahieu says it's a non-starter. So again, we're talking about what was presented by Mr. Voss is strictly what we're talking about in this, and the open-endedness of certain things and such. I'm going to have my awesome wife drop a link to Senator Agard's bill, which was brought up. That would have been October of last year. What we need to remember is just because Mr. Voss is bringing something to the table, and because our government is set up where it's not a ballot issue that we can even vote on, that still doesn't mean we have to just accept this or nothing. But it's going to take a lot of work on the people's end. If this bill, and Voss just yesterday was saying, this bill, I'm not changing anything. It's going to a committee. I have enough votes. It's going to. So essentially, we need to all be on standby, because the moment I get the intel, I'll let you guys know. I said intel. I feel like I'm like CIA or something. The moment I find out or that it's released, that it's going to go to a committee, which of course Mr. Voss gets to pick, is when we need to be ready to figure out when that committee hearing is. We need to register to be there to be able to talk as the public. Otherwise, it's just going to be a committee appointed by Voss that's going to decide if this goes through or not. And according to him, he's got the power to make it go through. So everybody, please stand by, because we need to get something like Melissa Agard's bill. We need to at least show that it's not just forgotten. It's not just this is the only option. And again, it's going to take a lot of boots on the ground. We're going to have to go to Madison. It's going to be a peaceful thing. Like, we're not going down there to start a fight or anything, but we need to be heard, because unfortunately in the state, that's how this works. It's not a ballot thing. So real quick, let's catch up on some comments. I heard only 5-store states. Yet we'll be touching on that. The pharmacist needs to be a chemist and a doctor. I mean, in this case, right? Thank you, honey, for dropping the bill to the Senator Agard's bill. So if you guys wanted to check that over, I will be putting together a piece on that. So that'll be coming out soon. A state referendum, right? And that's the thing, Todd. I don't think we're able to do that, which is just kind of crazy. Sign the petition. The petition that we have out, if you guys want to make sure you get a chance to sign that, that is just to hold a public hearing on cannabis legalization. And that would be the ideal opportunity for us to be. And again, we got to get it's bringing elected officials out into the public, and that's when we can be, hey, okay, so you guys understand cannabis has good traits. Well, what about this bill that was brought up last year by Senator Agar that makes a lot more sense? That's kind of the goal with the petition. So please make sure we sign that and get that rolling. Hey, Mohican, you're definitely right. We're going to be touching on that. Man, you guys are awesome. A lot of these comments are, dude, these people, we don't even need to talk. We just can read the comments. These guys are on it, man.
Yeah.
So we'll keep rolling here. One of the things that I found very hard to understand with this is the very strict licensing for the growers. When it comes to like criminal history stipulations, residency. I mean, we're looking at a lot of different things that would, in my opinion, are going to be creating barriers to entry, especially for like the smaller local growers. And unfortunately, do you think you could have too many growers?
Well, I mean,
okay, that's a loaded
question. I mean,
yeah.
It can get overdone. Remember that lady I was talking to from Canada today?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
3 million pounds got destroyed in Canada.
Okay, so it can happen.
Right? Yeah, and that's sad to me to hear that much cannabis was destroyed. That could be good medicine to help people. So, we got to watch that kind of stuff too.
Right.
Yeah.
No, for sure. So that is fair. But like, as far as like the craft grower, like IPA, how many IPAs can we have?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I've been to Woodman's lately.
Seasonal grows and small grow ops and stuff like that. That's great. And I think that's going to be the future of cannabis. That's going to be further into legalization for Wisconsin, but I feel like that's the way a lot of, smaller farms are sought after in Michigan.
Sure.
I'm a huge fan of Michigan cannabis myself. So
sure. Shout out to Higher Love.
yeah, shout out Higher Love. Huge fan.
No, for sure. But as we were talking, and obviously I said that kind of cheek and tongue. There's got to be some restrictions on growers. It's got to make sense to how many, people are going to be using. Obviously with this very limited pill bill, you probably only need a couple small grows to take care of the amount of product you're going to be able to actually move.
Well, it doesn't sound like there's going to be that many people that will be available to be patients with that program, unfortunately, as well.
Right.
So how much do you really need if you don't have that many medical card holders or consumers in Wisconsin?
Right, definitely. Yep. Hey, shout out Philip Scott. Philip Scott's the man, folks. Love you, Phil. Thank you for spending some time with me this week. It was very nice to meet you. And he brings up a great point. Grow your own 21 plants at the home grow. Makes a ton of sense. You got 7 flowering, 7 seeding. You never know when stuff's going to happen with the grow. I think that I know for a fact there would be a lot of people that would apply for the home grow, and it's definitely got to be a thing. I mean, mad props to anybody who can grow tomatoes, cucumbers, anything, because I've tried it. It ain't that easy. Nope. But if you use your resources, just like hunting, fishing, like that's part of life. Like we're not mixing chemicals and this is how I'm getting this fix in or whatever. Like it's a beautiful plant. And if you know how to grow it and it helps you, by all means, I mean, it just is common sense. Because again, we're not saying everybody needs to grow a whole field's worth. And then obviously you're looking at like black market, whatever. But for personal use, it's just a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. And I think most of us would be. So yes, growers, we need a lot more freedom for our growers. Again, I'm not saying that we need 1 billion, but it needs to be not so it's almost like we get to pick and choose who grows, and as far as that goes, we've got the higher cost for growers, $10,000 initial licensing fee for cannabis growers. I mean, that's going to really hurt your small scale, or kind of like we were talking about your startup growers. I think that's going to help, however, the larger corporations over local small scale operations. And I think there's a lot to be said with, again, just kind of like when you look at beer. Yeah, you can get a lot of Bud Light made. And don't get me wrong, there's people who probably like Bud Light. But to me, part of the IPAs and the craft beer is the packaging, the story behind it, and that's what kind of makes it neat and so unique.
The people behind it, the people
exactly
product together, putting their blood, sweat, and tears in that grow and that flower and that packaging and processing, all those things. Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. And like you say, it really is the story, because all that kind of ties to it. And that's what makes it really cool too, because, and we've seen it with cannabis time and time again, where And actually, I forgot to even tell you this, but most recently, one of my new favorite strains is a strain that somebody had been growing for like 22 years and kind of working the mother, and like it's just this perfect strain now. And again, you lose that when it's just this commercialized. Let's get it in there and make a pill,
Yeah.
So definitely need some work there.
For me, it would take all, I enjoy the act of using cannabis, like rolling up and, getting a good gummy or, putting some RSO on a good treat or something like that. Those avenues for, getting the cannabis in your body, that's what I want to do. The pill, that sounds, not interesting to me,
No,
at all.
yeah, like
And how does that work? What's the onset? There's so many different people with multiple reasons why they're using cannabis, and pills will not work for everybody. It's not, a pill is just not going to be a one pill that's going to work for everybody. That's just not
right.
how it works.
Well, and even like we saw it firsthand today when I was hanging out by the shop, stopping by. There's some people that it's a CBG, 1 part CBG, 2 part CBD, 1 part CBN, that they don't even need the psychoactivity part, but they just want help with pain and getting to sleep. And now you're just going to have a pill. I highly doubt that these guys are interested in doing, the different
Full
part.
spectrum or one-to-one ones or
No,
anything
it's
like
going to
that.
be here's your pill. If it
Of
doesn't work,
THC. What does
yeah.
that even mean?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I wonder, I guess I thought I read the bill, but I didn't remember seeing anything about what's actually in the pill. Is it just
Is it just pure
THC? Is it
THC?
CBD? Is it full spectrum? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
real quick here, got to catch up on a couple comments. Appreciate everybody's support. Green Swan Hemp Company. My buddy Peter out in Pewaukee. Very nice to meet you this week, buddy. Support small grows and small dispensaries. That's right, man. We're all in this together, and that's what we're doing, gathering the troops. Susie, they raided and shut down the farmers market in Arizona when the dispensaries opened. The dispensaries also had a huge hand in that. It wasn't regulated really at all, and medical does have an allotment. Yeah. Okay. That's what I'd be afraid of. Todd says, with any business, people should get people to invest. With any business, people should get people. Oh, no, I see what you're saying. The Walmarts of weed. Yeah, unfortunately, Waldo Hemp, that's what it kind of has the feel of. Where do we sign up for Wednesday? What's Wednesday? Somebody said there was something coming up on Wednesday. I've been driving all day or out here by Josh, so I haven't got it. Somebody was going to be sending me a link for. Apparently, there's something at the Capitol on Wednesday. I don't know if it's strictly related to cannabis. If anybody knows, if you can drop a link, we'll take a look at that here together real quick. Susie says, plus no taxes collected, and you had to buy tickets and trade tickets for product, no cash sales. Oh, okay, a setup like that. I got you. I've heard of that, especially when they started out up in Michigan. We've got Jill says the pill is stupid. I definitely am not for it. I've never been in a fight in my life. I'm not for violence, but I can't remember which one of you yahoos, when this pill bill first came out, and you said somebody said, all I want to do is take a pill bottle and chuck it at Voss's head. Like, okay, I just can't get that picture out of my head. Don't do it.
Don't do that. Yeah.
You can think about it, but don't do it. Okay, think about it because you'll laugh, and I'm all about that. Ooh, we got a comment from YouTube here, Josh. Let's see. Appreciate you stopping out on YouTube, Stephanie. If the pill form worked, pharmaceutical companies would have tapped that market 86 years ago. Oh, bingo. Didn't even think of that. Big pharma. Yeah, that's a great point. They're not passing up anything. They got the money to pay off the politicians and to get anything passed at a federal level. That's a very good point. Holy crap, we still got more comments. Exactly, Tammy says, and everyone reacts differently to all cannabinoids. Tammy, we still got to figure out how to get you your sweater. Oh, shout out to Team Apparel. The last order of shirts and everything was picked up today. It was all set. So those will be going out tomorrow. Appreciate everyone's support on that and looking forward to repping it. Oh, dude, I forgot to give you the sweater for your son. Josh.
Oh yeah, no worries, bro. We'll get it. We'll link up again, I'm sure.
Yeah. To be fair, he didn't order it. We were just gonna hook him up and do a little switcheroo. So if he would have paid for it, I definitely would have remembered.
I am familiar with Marinol actually, and people who have used it and tried it because that is prescribable in the state of Wisconsin. And as far as I know, there's no psychoactivity, so no THC in there. I believe that's all just CBD in Marinol, or is there THC in that? Do you know?
That's a good question.
There's a lot of patients that I've talked to that have been prescribed that went to traditional cannabis as opposed to that for appetite reasons, going through chemotherapy and stuff like that. So yeah. And RSO also, Susie, yeah, RSO is great. That is great for pain management, especially. I use that myself.
Attaboy. All right, and just a reminder, in case you haven't messed with RSO before, read the directions. If they didn't come with directions, just remember a rice. It's size of rice. Take a half of that to start.
Yeah.
It's no joke. They're not kidding.
Yeah. We're big fans of teaching people to dose low, micro dose, and then
Yep.
titrate up. So
Exactly.
as you
that's the way to do
go,
it.
definitely go low first. Low and slow is the way to go.
Start low, go slow.
Yes, sir.
We got just a couple more here, and then we'll get rolling. Stephanie says she believes Marinol is straight THC. Eric says Marinol is synthetic THC.
Okay.
Boss is a crook. He's too wishy-washy. I will share a chart with you and what to look for, the effects you want. Hey, nice. We did have a link a little way back to the Flower Pot. They just started their online website. Again, we got the promo code out for higher love. And then Tabby's has a promo code with us as well. Looks like Liz was able to drop the link to them. I did see someone in here who's going to be picking up some CBG pills from them.
Tabby's, you can find a lot of their wonderful products at the Flower Pots in Deep here in Appleton as well.
Oh, that's right. And that's Tammy. So Tammy, if you're swinging through Appleton, those folks that we had you linked up with, they do carry Tabby's there too. So either way, we got you covered. In person, online. Maybe we'll be able to 3D print one day, man. No, not cannabis. It's the beauty of the plant, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's keep rocking on some more points. We've got processor license limitations. The limitation on the number of processors until a patent registry threshold is met is how they have this thing written, which to me sounds like a bottleneck issue waiting to happen, which is typically tied to supply issues. Again, I don't know how they're going to try to, like the bill says 7 months from it being accepted, it would be ready to roll out. I would just love to know where they're going to get, like how many people medical cannabis could help, where they're going to make sure that was made. There's got to be a THC shortage in the state of Wisconsin. Just like any state that goes legal, you want to support your local farmers and stuff. But, and like Eric, an awesome grower, Eric, maybe you could figure out in 7 months to have a ton of cannabis ready to roll. But like this just seems so choppy. Like it's got to be a lot more communication. Like before you're even talking about bringing this bill into this stage, like this is not talking to the farmers to figure out how they're going to supply. This is like somebody sat down. What's the bare minimum of what I have to do to at least say I tried? And then let's just say this is what we're going with. It's frustrating. Well, let's keep going. Maybe we're going to uncover something good in here. We've got testing and packaging regulations. It was sounding like that they are going to be looking at, it didn't really detail, to my understanding, exactly how they would roll it out, but just kind of because we've seen, and I think we've discussed too, with packaging, we were just talking about this. You go to one dispensary in Michigan, you can get packages that show like 5 different, okay, THCA is what we're going to tell you is in here. This one says THC. This one says CBD. There, in my opinion, we got to have some kind of a uniformed, because I think education is key. And even in Michigan, like when we had a lot of followers that were getting a little confused with, so wait, this flower has THCA at 20% and THC at 18%? No, those two numbers coincide. But again, the bagging and everything, let's just talk about in a perfect world, if we were able to just give some advice, since it seems to be lacking. As far as testing and packing regulations go, what would you think would be a kind of again, we're not writing the bill and this isn't every definition, but what are just some things that would come to mind?
I think that, regulation needs to be there. So I like that farm information is available. So where that flower originates from is nice to know. And then, what kind of cannabinoids are in there? What kind of CBD cannabinoids are in that strain, in that flower as well? And the THCA content. Harvest date is nice to know too. Those are the kind of things that I would like to see eventually in the hemp industry too. So people
Sure.
feel more comfortable about those products too. Like our products here that are, we do that. We have COAs from farms, and we're very passionate about making sure that we have safe medicine to get in the hands of people. So
Sure.
those kind of things are what I would like to see. So, not so much percentages, but terpene profiles is nice to know as well, too.
No, definitely. And I think if you could do something maybe similar to, so don't get me wrong, like nutritional labels are kind of boring, the black and white, but at least it's kind of funny. At least it's black and white to be able to understand what's in this product.
Yeah.
So, but it is nice. I would say terpene profile was missing for a long time just across the industries, but it's definitely, I've been seeing it a lot more on
Yeah.
packaging in the hemp and in the cannabis industry as far as whether it's flower or whatnot, like the major dominant terpene and all that kind of stuff. So that's really cool to see.
Yeah.
We've got a couple things popping up in here. All the ingredients should be listed to make the pill. Actually, we had someone who said they use Marinol. Where was that? Hey, Paul, thanks for swinging by. Paul says I'm prescribed Marinol in Wisconsin for post bone marrow. It's synthetic, but when without, it helps gain appetite. Okay. Well, that's good to know that it's helping for sure.
Yeah, that is great to hear. Absolutely. Because it's for appetite.
Right.
In a lot of cases.
That's what's up. Sure.
Yeah. Cool.
And Carrie, you don't see anyone that smokes MJ in a treatment. It's the harsher stuff, and weed don't cause overdoses like the other drugs do. Very valid point. Let's get into processor fees of $50,000 is the initial and renewal fee. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was the renewal. Well, sugar. Now I'm trying to remember back. Eric, did you get a chance to read that one, buddy? If you're in here, I feel like Eric would be on top of that.
Yeah, he'll know.
But even just the 50,000 initial, like, so don't get me wrong. I feel like if you are processing, that you're talking. I don't know. Yeah, I've never bought this equipment or anything, but I'm going to guess you have a substantial amount of money invested into some kind of a setup as far as processing would go. So maybe 50,000 is a drop in the bucket to some people, but that still just sounds like a lot of money.
It
just
is.
to be.
I mean, he's put up, processing all that. It costs a lot of money to start up, especially processing cannabis, raw CBD.
Right.
Hemp. Yes.
Eric says, "What are they processing pills?" That's a great point. Like you take the plant and see, like, how do you? All right. We'll see if he knows that one. What are the processor fees and renewal? I don't have the bill ready to super dive into at the moment. Hopefully, somebody's got some more information on that if they're able to check it. We've got the high testing lab fees at $5,000 is the initial and the renewal fee for testing labs, which again, I understand there's got to be, like, what are you paying for with this money? Is this just, and don't get me wrong, I understand licenses.
For just to have a license to grow and process.
Right.
Yeah.
And the bill is it's like, what do they call it? Half baked is kind of the feeling that I get from it.
Terminology to use for it. Yeah.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah. Eric says that's the question. What do they need? Isolate, distillate, nano? Exactly. Right. Again, if there was any thought put into this bill, it'd be a lot more information on it.
And none of that
terminology
is mentioned in the bill.
Right.
How do these pills even come about? How are they processed? Like Eric said, you said, yeah, I don't think that's the way to go. That being said, though, there are cannabis tablets out there that are really great. Some people prefer not to smoke or chew a gummy or whatever. And, that can be good for certain people and patients. You know what I mean? I use a cannabis tablet myself daily, but I also choose to consume gummies, flour, etc.
Yeah. No, and again, like, when you get you like build a relationship with the plant, right? Like you kind of just know. So like I'm not kidding because they're in my pocket. The old tabbies that I actually got from the flower pot. See, I don't just talk this stuff. This is my life.
Yeah.
But Josh had actually turned me on to the CBG tablets. It helps with. It's almost like a little pick me up, but mainly for helping with the pain. But it's almost like I wouldn't really say it helps you focus. It just I don't know. It's almost like a refreshing. Like when you have a energy drink, it's not just energy though. It's just kind of I don't know. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it
CBG.
does. It's uplifting yet non-psychoactive. So you have some effects from the cannabis, the hemp in there, but not anything psychoactive that you can't handle. But with CBG, as I take that myself, the same as you daily, the Tabby's tablets is great for anti-inflammatory pain. So
Sure.
that in conjunction with THC. So CBG and THC is the best thing that I would recommend for pain management. Like we were talking about today when some customers were in and stuff like that.
That was cool. That was we were talking about, and then the next person to walk through. It was cool to see. So, Kelly Sunshine, thanks for stopping out. Kelly with DNA Hemp, you guys rock out there. Dustin says banking. Oh gosh, yeah, that's a whole nother.
And then that issue, how does it? Yeah, exactly. I mean, because that's been a nightmare for legality in many states. Especially with it being federal, as we all know, federally illegal still across the board. So a lot of people couldn't even bank until very recently. And some states you still can. It's all cash op.
Yeah. Eric, right. Eric brings up a great point. Do these pills have terpenes? THC is the engine, terpenes are the steering wheel. That was one of my favorite analysis, or not analysis. One of my favorite analogies. See, that's what she's paid the big bucks
for. Helping you out again.
She is. She's always helping. One of my favorite analogies, though, because it's so true. You got two flower strains that are at the same percentage for THC, but you can get completely different effects because the terpenes. So I always kind of explain like the car going down the road. The THC is what you usually think of are kind of the biggest usually the biggest effector, but you can still have a lot of movement one way or the other. So. We've got the mother cannabinoid is my personal fave. Feel that.
CBG.
Yes. We've got. Wow, this is a long one. Jill's a good lady. I got to read it. Bad GOP medical bill. Legislative Republicans released a restrictive smoke and mirrors medical bill. Serious matter. We need to make sure we are crossing our T's, dotting our I's. I'm thoroughly reviewing every provision. Hey, that's what's up. Appreciate you looking into that for us. Oh, Jill, did you have that link or some information on something happening on Wednesday at the Capitol? I think that might have been Jill. Oh, no, was it Jill? Let's see if she's Jill. Dakota, what's up, man? He says we got to pass that Safer Banking Act, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Ooh, Ron says, good to know about the combination of using CBG and THC to combat pain and inflammation. That's what's
world of difference than just THC. I'll preach that till I'm dead and gone. And CBG with THC has helped me with my chronic pain considerably. I mean, I love it. And other CBD cannabinoids are great too. Don't sleep on CBN. That's a really excellent cannabinoid for relaxation. There's some early studies showing that it's great for anxiety relief and works similar to how a benzodiazepine such as Valium or alprazolam, Xanax, stuff like that. That there's actually evidence that show that CBN can be actually work better than some Valium and stuff like that. So I've been experimenting with myself. I suffer from anxiety sometimes as well, just like most of us. And it's promising, I like what the entourage effect has to say and adding multiple noids, together for a full spectrum effect. And I really feel like when they come together, they work better inside, with your endocannabinoid system for sure.
Right. And Tammy, was that, or Josh, did you recommend CBG to Tammy when you guys?
I'm just recommending it to everybody who has pain.
Oh, right on.
So yeah, anybody that's out there, listen, we do carry CBG products. You can find a lot of really good CBG products in hemp dispensaries across Wisconsin. It comes in tincture form, tablet form, a sublingual tablet, which is really nice. Yeah, good for blood pressure, like Eric said as well. And we're just starting to find out what all these multiple alternative cannabinoids really can do with us, which is great. So, as we legalize here, we'll get to study more and we'll get to find out more. Yeah. And THCV, is really great too. So yeah, just a lot of great options. And you can find those options right here in Wisconsin hemp dispensaries, which is cool. So we are not against anybody going to Michigan. We're huge fans of Michigan cannabis ourselves. But we want people to know that you have the option here right at home to pick up good products that are going to be beneficial for you, just like any of those products you're going to find in Michigan.
100%. And that was part of where it definitely was a big focus on legalization when I got out of the industry, like as far as where I kind of felt, my time could be best used. But I also knew that there are a lot of great options in Wisconsin, as far as places like yourself and a lot of the other places that we collaborate with and work with.
Yeah.
But the issue is, and it's not any of the followers' faults at all. It's not your guys' fault, and it's not these guys' fault. What happened though is when you have a completely unregulated industry, anybody, like even gas stations, can sell anything and call it anything.
Right.
There is no guarantee at all. You can spend $100 at the gas station, leave with what could be the most potent this, most help with that, do that. There's nobody checking it. And it is a slippery slope, right? Because when you ask to have some kind of regulation, it's still just, every time I say that, it sounds weird. But there, because I'm usually like, kind of let the people figure it out, less government. Or it just seems like there's a lot of oversight on everything, like even Facebook. I'm surprised we haven't got shut down yet. So it's weird to ask for regulation, but it's because there's so many people just selling stuff, and that's where we're really working to highlight the places like the Flower Pot, and many of our other sponsors and followers. And
because there's a lot of reputable hemp dispensaries out there with integrity. And I know many people that you've introduced me to that I've networked through via Let's Legalize Wisconsin as of late. And, just a lot of really good people that care deeply about getting, good medicine into the hands of people who need it most.
Right.
A lot of really good. But, again, like you said, just like it happened in Michigan when everything took off, there was people making bad products as well there that weren't very safe. So you have to do your research. You have to go, and not all gas stations, some gas stations carry good product.
Absolutely.
They carry Wisconsin brands. If you know your brand and who's making it, I think it's safe to purchase it if you're comfortable with a brand.
That's a good point, because and that's a very good clarification, because actually there are several good brands that are in the even gas stations now, and I should clarify that. So thank you, because again, we're trying to educate. So I really try to watch, and I appreciate you pointing that out, because there's several that I can think of. Like I think I've seen Cannabis, Herb. There's some good ones out there that you can actually catch at the gas station. But the big thing is the person working has to know about it, or the customer has to know what they're buying. Oh yeah, that's what I usually get. Just like you would do with. I don't want to compare it to cigarettes, but I guess what what I'm trying to say.
But I gotta say, finding a dispensary that has educated bud tenders, there's a huge difference, because a gas station, a cashier employee that's not his profession. But coming to an actual dispensary, that is my job to educate you on that. So if you walk into a hemp dispensary and they're just like, yeah, that'll get you high, or I can't really tell you what that does, then how does that help that person? Because we're really, the majority of our customers are coming in for medicating purposes, not adult responsible, recreational use. The majority of people are coming in for medical issues, and a wide range of ages as well. People are really starting to seek out natural options, and THC is just so good for so many things.
That's what's really cool, because you think of aspirin, and I guess it can. I think my wife would be the one to I should verify, but isn't aspirin a blood thinner as well?
Very much so.
Right. So it helps with pain, helps with blood thinner. But I feel like most drugs or most prescriptions help with like one or two things, where like cannabis, Like that's all. I've said this 100 times. So I'm sorry if you listened to a few of these and this is your 101st time, but I knew that the plant was something more than just this drug in a bad way. When I realized, okay, if I want help with anxiety, for me it's about 5 milligrams. If I want help with my back pain to go to sleep and I don't want to take pills, I take 10 milligrams. If I want to enjoy a movie that I don't want to watch but my wife wants to watch, I take 20 milligrams and it becomes a comedy, regardless of what it is. It could be the most depressing movie ever. Well, maybe not. I'm a pretty emotional guy, not gonna lie. It hit me in the feels, but you know what I'm saying? It's just,
but absolutely. And it can be used in so many ways. And I'm a huge fan of adult responsible use myself too. Not everybody needs to medicate, but I think it's a great option to let loose.
Right.
And I have no hate on alcohol, but I can consume cannabis all night and wake up the next morning and feel great. So that's the beauty of it.
Right. Hey, you might have a stomach ache though.
Yeah, you can. And there are such things as cannabis hangovers if you overconsume. That is a real thing. So but you be careful. But it's I enjoy.
It affects my scale the most. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pete with Green Swan Hemp, in Agard's bill, any operation with over 20 employees must have a collective bargaining agreement with its employees. Like, okay, so Agard's bill, she's been working on this for 11 years, folks. And I can tell you from being in the industry, especially right now in an unregulated industry, there's no regulation whatsoever. There are a lot of places, like one of the things that I look at. So, and again, when I say sponsors or collaboration, or this is just people that I've gone out to, I've met with them, I've verified. Don't get me wrong, there can always be unseen issues that even a store wouldn't know about, but it's going to check out these places, kind of doing the legwork. And then if we're on the same vision of, hey, we enjoy what we're doing, we're able to sell hemp, we're for legalization, we're doing it the right way. Now you're going to start hearing their name because we're working together, because this is just a group effort to make sure that our voices are heard with politicians. And it's a beautiful thing. But what I'm trying to get to here with that is, there needs to be thought put into these things. And like a collective bargaining, I'm sure there could be some negatives to collective bargaining, but at the same time, people need to be treated fairly. And I see time and time again, in the wrong places, nobody you're going to see on here or anything, but there's places that are taking advantage of young folks to work at dispensaries that are selling these cannabis products and stuff. So even Agard's bill, is that the perfect answer? I'm not sure, but the fact that she thought about that, like that's detail. That's, and maybe it's not 20, but now we have a number to look at. Or where'd you come up with 20? Like, it's a very detailed bill. If you haven't got a chance to look at it, please make sure you check it out. Adult responsible use, medical. I think it was possession up to 5 ounces. Like, it's a very more thought out bill. Even if you were to just chop it up and make it just a medical only, a lot of things that make a lot more sense, in my opinion. And obviously that's up to the person reading it, but safer than alcohol, Tammy says. Everyone is different. Oh, that's my wife. Thank you, wife. Miss Liza. So actually, guys, real quick. So Miss Liza, that's what the kids call her. And the one day the kid asked her, where's Mr. Liza? So that's my new nickname, Mr. Liza.
Right. That's what I think it fits.
Right. Strength in numbers. That's right, Todd. Somebody had asked something. Oh man, I'm looking back here. Give me one quick minute. Do you got any jokes, Josh? Do you got any jokes for the folks?
Yeah, I don't. I'm just really excited that next time I see you, I can be like, "What's up, Mr. Liza?" That's
dude, come on.
Really excited about that.
I shouldn't have said nothing. Why did I get in front of the public?
I can tell everybody how when you walked out of the shop today and our new sign was up and you made a joke that made my heart drop into my stomach. You said cannabis was spelled wrong on our new sign that was put up. That was fun.
He had a heart attack, folks. Even after I told him I was messing with him, when Luke looked up there, he's like, "What?" And then even after Josh found out I was kidding, he was like, "Dude, my heart is still like." thought you were gonna need some CB something, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, a little calm down a little bit there.
Definitely. And actually, okay, real quick, we're gonna toss it up here, folks. We're gonna throw a curveball at Josh. Josh, you ready for a curveball?
Sure.
I didn't tell you about this. We're just gonna have something a little fun here. We're gonna ask something random off the top of the head. Maybe like, Josh, let's say your phone, right? You gotta get a new phone. you've got texting, you've got phone calls. Obviously, you got the little phone app. You got
Sure.
texting. You got your Safari because you're an Apple guy. Ugh.
Yes.
What are the first 5 apps you're downloading on your new phone, boss? What keeps you rolling through? What keeps you
Facebook, of
sane?
course, because that's just, it's been there for forever. I like Instagram as well. I'm always getting 30-day bans on Facebook because I'm talking about cannabis all the time. So that's kind of irritating, but whatever. I'm not on a ban right now. That's awesome.
As he disconnects.
Yeah, definitely YouTube. I've really been a fan of YouTube lately. I'm getting a lot of good information. There's so many good YouTubers out there for cannabis education. I mean, I highly suggest checking out YouTube for cannabis education. What else would I download? I don't even know what I have on my, what? Oh yeah, Leafly for sure. I use Leafly a lot. So
sure, that makes sense.
Information. As soon as I get a new strain, I want to know about it. Plus, Leafly and Weed Maps are very helpful applications for understanding strain specificks in flower.
Yeah, 100%.
So
you're at 3
for sure.
Good job, Kimberly.
Yeah, good job, Kimberly.
Got 2 more, dude. 2 more apps.
Oh, 2 more apps. Oh, okay. Well, I play Word, so I like that. And you know what? Etsy. A lot of cool stuff on Etsy. I
Shout out to Etsy, dude.
Shop in there. I got a hip lady, and I got to get her cool things. So Etsy is the place to go. I highly say. Plus, it's supporting local artists. We're big about that at the Flower Pot Deep here in Appleton. We have some really good artists in both of our stores. So if you come out to the shops, check that out too. You can really view some local beautiful art, and we plan on building and expanding on that too. So
that's awesome. And actually, shout out to Philip with his shot Crone Apothecary down there in Madison. It was really cool. His shop is decorated with local artwork, and then you can any of it that's on there is you're available to buy at a very reasonable price. I don't think there's anything that was over like $75 for kind of the bigger ones. But that's what it's about, man. And that's what I really like about like your guys' store, and a lot of people like you too, where there's a lot to be said for growing your own or making your own. But it's hard, especially in this industry in the hemp, it's hard to keep up with the changes as far as like THCA came out of nowhere. It's not like you can just go back and start growing it and have it ready for sale tomorrow. So you basically incorporate a collaboration because now you're working, you're selling the products of several producers, but you also have a story. I get to see you interact with, this is Tabby's out of Waukesha, so.
Yeah, we're very, we like Wisconsin products and Midwest products. So we focus on those. So yeah, we have a lot of great companies in our stores. Again, Tabby's, J&E Candy out of Stoughton, Wisconsin, really great small batch artisanal products. Northern Roots Hemp out of Deep Pier. That's Eric. They got some really wonderful products. Black Ash Hemp up in Door County we carry. So yeah, we're very big fans of Wisconsin hemp, supporting Wisconsin farmers and vendors, so that's my goal. So anybody ever wants to reach out, you're welcome to. We like to look at new product. If something's popular in a different part of the state that we don't know about, we love, bringing it to different parts of the states too. Stuff that's produced and packaged down in southern Wisconsin. I love getting that up here so people get a chance to, try cannabis from all over the state.
Sure. That's what's up, man. Here's a question from the bill that real quick. Actually, I forgot. Someone had brought up Waldo Hempworks. Thank you for bringing this up. Gun rights and medical cards. This bill says nothing to help alleviate a problem that is very much brought to the spotlight with a bill like this. And in my opinion, again, a well thought out bill has something, a tone to this topic here, which is, so if you register for medical cannabis, you're put on a registry list. Now, when you go to purchase a firearm, you're going to show up on a list. So, when they do a background check, you're going to pop up as using a controlled substance right now. So there again, right now, it's a very gray area in the fact that there's nothing in this bill that would protect the right to, because again, it's just like a driver's license. Just because you use cannabis doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to drive your car. I mean, I don't know how finding something that helps you, especially if we're talking medicinally specifically, that can then be held against you. And it's not just with that list. There's nothing in here about if you're on government assistance programs. So like I know a couple people who, whether it's workman's comp or whatnot, and they got to go get drug tested or even control, like if you're on like something like an Adderall, they do drug testing and stuff. But now you're saying it's okay for people because you know that the pill that cannabis has medicinal properties. So now you're saying it's okay for them to use that, but you have nothing about everybody who is now going to be tested for it in your bill. But this is a good bill. Mr. Voss. Mr. Voss. I did stop by his office this week. I was filling Josh in with that when I went to meet with Melissa Agard. Shout out to Melissa and the continued fight that she's on this whole battlefield with. But I did stop by Voss's because I've sent them emails, reach out to them on social media. So I did stop by Mr. Voss's office, left my name and number with his secretary, and I'll be following up when I'm back down there Tuesday. That would be, man, I hope I can bring a camera just because I want to know what's going on, man. I want to help. But I feel like he's going to be like, Beans, what are you doing? You're making me look terrible. You wrote the bill, boss.
Yeah.
boss. Oh, gosh. I do not endorse that statement.
I mean, my opinion on that, people are prescribed much stronger medications daily and can own guns, so people are prescribed opioids, and that doesn't do anything for, licensing for them getting a firearm. So I don't understand how cannabis and those two come together. They should be completely separate things. One should have nothing to do with the other. So yeah, who's going to want to get that medical bill card if you're going to be put in all these systems and essentially looked at like a criminal? It feels like almost,
Right.
That's how pharmacies can kind of make you feel. Like I said, I was on doctor prescribed opioids for many years, and you go into a pharmacy, and that's what this is going to be. It's a pill pharmacy. I don't think we should call those dispensaries, because that's not a dispensary. Dispensaries have flower and edibles and tinctures, not just pills, so
they have a lot of options, and the educated people behind the counter to fit different things, and again, and
pharmacies. I said that before on the page, we need dispensaries, educated bud tenders, or people that can grow their own medicine at home. A lot of people prefer to do that too, and that's great too. I have no green thumb whatsoever. I leave it to the pros, and I like to buy my cannabis from the pro grows. So,
right.
But that to each their own.
Pro grows. What was that?
Well, just pro growers.
Oh, pro growers. Okay.
Yeah. But I believe there's a farm called Pro Grow, actually.
If not, we should get that on the list.
Shout out Pro.
Yeah, right. Tammy says if you can go buy a bottle of whiskey and they don't track the alcoholics that have firearms, that's a valid point. I mean, and again, we're not pitting alcohol against cannabis. It's just calling out the BS on these. There you go, hypocrisy, exactly. Yeah. Because here's another thing in the bill that I would like your take on, Josh. How do you think? So you can see just what you're able to do from your one location, and as far as people getting to your location, how do you think access to something that would have 5 locations across the state would work?
Well, I immediately was like, well, if I got to travel to say Milwaukee to get to my closest one of the 5 state-run dispensaries, why wouldn't I just go back up to Michigan and get the products that I want? I don't think it's people. I don't know who would really want to submit to those rules. And, that's not, I don't think that's what cannabis is about. It's not, I don't want to follow regulations and rules. I mean, I want responsible adult use like we've talked about, but that's it. That's all I really want full legalization. And I really like the model of how Michigan works.
Sure. And if you look like first of all, even if you somehow decided 5 was a good number, now how do you decide where to put them? Do you kind of like the state, you got like you kind of the corners of the state and then one in the middle? Or is it, most people live in Milwaukee, so there's one there. Most are in Madison.
How many people can't travel because of the conditions that they're using the cannabis for? So how do they get to their medicine?
Very valid.
I mean, they might offer shipment via mail. I don't know, some that might be a thing for people But yeah, and the list of people that could even qualify is not. It doesn't seem like that many people. So maybe that's how they're considering it. We'll only need 5 state-run dispensaries because most people won't qualify for this, which is
Right.
unfortunate to hear.
Well, and it's one of those things too where typically, well, and again, because this is going to have such limited amount of people, but especially if we're talking like some kind of adult responsible use, like if you look at Michigan, I feel like the fact that there are a lot of dispensaries has to be a big part of why it's so reasonably priced.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
again, okay, I've waited long enough. Who thinks that the government should be in charge of pricing for anything? That's just a little sketch, in my opinion, and that's what this bill says: is the government would be setting the prices of these goods. It also says that. So let's just say Josh gets prescribed for the pills, right? So let's just say that
which I
you ha-
most likely would qualify with,
exact right.
breaking my neck, the chronic pain situation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, and when you look at it, dude. I don't know where I was going. When you said break your neck,
Oh,
for some reason, I
that sounds
pictured
pretty gnarly. I apologize.
I pictured a very bad wrestling match and like a finisher move that didn't go as planned. Is that
Yeah.
not probably what happened
No,
though?
I dove into a swimming pool drinking actually when I was a young man. So
Oh no.
I broke my neck. They put it back together, but with that came a lot of chronic pain. And if I would have had the option years ago for to use cannabis for pain management, it would have been a lot better for me. My quality of life would have been a lot better for all those years, because really heavy opioids and medications like that really can change up the quality of your life. So
Sure.
yeah,
Well, and that's what's beautiful about smoking is it can be such a it can be a shorter term effect if you just again if you're using it for, and again, because so part of me, I would say most people who use adult responsible use, like for me, I still kind of qualify, or technically I use it. Okay, I'm not trying to compare the two at all because there's definitely people who need cannabis, and I'm sure that I could be fine without it. But to me, I still look at it almost as a medicine because I don't know about you, but when I use it at the end of the day, it's just to de-stress, it's to relax, it's to so
there's nothing wrong with that. Why can one person grab a beer and another guy can't grab a joint? That's all we want, is to be able to have afforded the same rights as anybody else that can consume something responsibly.
Well, and it like for me, I wish people could just understand the brain of ADHD, where it's like, so Adderall helps me focus, right? But my brain is going so fast that when my Adderall is kicked in, I almost feel like I found this extra gear of my brain as far as productivity, but I'm always going 100 miles an hour. It's always going, whether the Adderall's kicked in, then it's 100 miles an hour, but I'm going down one highway. But when the Adderall's not kicked in, I'm going 100 miles an hour, but I'm in every lane you can possibly be in, and I can stay there for a minute. Where cannabis, I use it because when I get myself done for the day, I can just, it like slows me down to the speed limit, and that's all. I'm not looking to just be here like and do nothing. Like it feels like they're telling us is what people do who use it and don't have a prescription, but it's not just this thing that makes you forget about what's happening. It really helps a lot of people with a lot of different things.
Very much.
ADHD meds speed you up to slow you down, basically OD your brain. It kind of feels that way. Keeps me from hollering at the boys at work, Joe says.
Right on. Yeah.
THC slows you down, Jennifer says. Absolutely. We kind of touched on let's see here, the impasse with the Republican Party. Again, the fact that you've got two of the biggest sayers of Republican legislator that come out against your bill right away in Voss's bill. This just really, my official opinion personally is this is a half-baked bill. This is a decoy. This is to be used for somebody who is worried about getting elected into office and trying to say, hey, I'm trying to legalize, but people aren't supporting the bill. There's I can't even really think of one thing that, the only thing I really could say with confidence I agree with this bill is that it brings some people to the medicine safely. Well, potentially, I guess I would really want to see what this pill looks like or is made up of. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just.
I mean, if it's beneficial to people medicinally, and some people will only go that route, great. I hope that they can get medicine that they need, and if that's the avenue that they want to explore to do it, I understand. Some people don't want to go to Michigan. Some people don't want to do that and come back over into Wisconsin. And some people prefer not to do that and they want to do things by the book, which is another why we have a lot of customers coming in as well. They can purchase products from us with a receipt and know that it's legal and that they can't get in trouble for purchasing it in our state.
Right. And that's the beauty of the THCA flower.
Right.
And the chain of custody. If you guys are buying it and it gets to the customer, it all goes back to who grew it and who said that that's what it was. So
right. And we carry COAs for the flower that we carry in the shop.
Sure. Yeah. And again, we're talking about quality bud tenders. That's what Josh does by trade. By all means, if you're in the Appleton area Yep. De Pere, Appleton. So I always kind of, damn it. Now you threw me off.
Right, buddy.
I didn't have to smoke before we started. Well, no, I did, dude. It's just been a long day, and I always like to just take that little edge off before I get going. Yeah. Just calms the nerves a little bit.
Take a rip or two.
Yeah. Damn, I had something really good, bro.
Yeah.
Here's something, and I know everybody wants to know your take on this. Can the green and gold pull it off, baby?
Oh, for sure. I got faith in love. Yeah, I saw you today. That was slick, man. I like that jersey. I'm gonna have to copy you and probably get one myself.
So here's a news alert. The Packer Pro Shop, and this is to be expected, but I'm just so happy to say it because I've been saying all year, Jordan loves the man. Give him a damn minute, okay? They are sold out of sewn-on jerseys at the Packer Pro Shop for Jordan Love.
Beautiful.
That's right. But it's about time y'all show some support and some love. Man's working his ass off out there, and it's just beautiful. And it's kind of – so this reminded me of like the Packers when they won with Rodgers when he first was coming up. There's something about the underdog, man, and I think that's what gets me so excited about this movement because like you guys, whether that's Josh, a bud tender, a quality bud tender when we met, now a good friend, just overall good dude. Many of the supporters of the movement. But even if you're on the other side of this thing, I like the fact that you think we can't help make sure that things get done fairly on a political field because we're just a bunch of people. We're just on social media. It kind of keeps me going, man. And it's definitely like, first of all, whoever's in here, whoever's been supporting this, you guys are freaking amazing because it's just when I'm out in public, I love that Blaze Orange hoodie. I'm so glad that's a thing because it just helps people see. And then the amount of people who come up and like, oh, hey, you're the guy on or, oh, legalized. Dude, that's awesome. I'm so glad you're talking about it in public. We need to keep working together. We need to keep each other in check. It's just as important that you guys are supporting me as it is one another. We got to keep not being afraid. We got to keep holding events where we're consuming cannabis responsibly. Shout out to Lebowski Fest. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
And actually, since we're talking ADD, Lebowski, dude, look at that. On the spot, he pulls it up.
Yeah, baby.
Josh is part of the Flower Pot establishment over here, as we've been talking about. Shout out to Flower Pot for being tonight's studio sponsor. They don't even know this, but they're hooking up two friendly folks with tickets to Lebowski Fest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Let's Legalize Wisconsin and the Flower Pot?
Yes, sir.
Heck yeah.
We'll also throw a promo code on there to the Lebowski Fest. We'll call it, honey, you want to write this down so I don't forget, if you don't mind? We're going to call it Flower Pot 20. That'll get you 20% off a ticket to Lebowski Fest.
Yeah.
But then also
looking at my costume and looking, I'm all over the place. Don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm excited.
I don't know either. So actually, it's kind of funny because Lebowski Fest and, obviously my first thought would be to dress up as the Lebowski. Yeah. But this summer, I had a do-rag on my head because I was sweating. I can't remember what I was doing. And next thing you know, I turn around and my wife said, my mother-in-law, who I love dearly, had to throw a little jab in there. And apparently I looked like
Walter?
Well, whoa, bro. Why are you calling me Walter?
Well, the beard, the glasses. I
Uh-huh.
could see you with the vest on and stuff.
Nice backtrack.
No, I was thinking about being Walter myself. Pull off the dude.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Abide, my friends. Absolutely.
Yes.
So I'm thinking for the ticket giveaway here, dude. Let's make it something interesting. So first of all, please only play if you're able to make it, so that we can make sure the tickets are going to a good cause. It's going to be, or the event is on February 20th here in Green Bay at the Tarleton Theater, 5 to 9 p.m. If you fit the category of people who would like to attend and can, or are pretty sure you can, obviously you could transfer the tickets, but please only play to win if you're able to make it or think you can. I guess Josh, since you're helping with this giveaway, what would you like it to? You got any ideas?
Like how somebody can win the tickets?
Yeah. Oh, maybe a number. Maybe you got to guess a number.
Yeah, we could do that. We do that here, like for our 420 events. Like, guess how many pre-rolls are in a huge fish bowl and stuff like that. So we could do something like that, or I don't know.
Actually, here we go. Let's do. Oh, Josh, have you seen the Hangman game yet that I do?
No, I have not. I mean, I'm familiar with the game.
You guys are special. Usually I only do this during smoke sessions, but I appreciate everybody stopping out. Again, before we get to having fun here, this bill that was brought up about the pill is definitely a decoy. It is. There's no way this is a legit bill. This is, and again, I'm not saying all Republicans are terrible. I don't endorse any more. Well, like right now, I don't know exactly what the Republicans are doing, but I don't expect anybody to. We can't be hating on each other for how we vote, no matter what. I've always felt that way. There are plenty of good Republicans. There's plenty of good Democrats. There's plenty of bad of both. But this right here, this bill is a bad bill. This bill is not a legitimate thing. No. And it
needs the best interest of Wisconsinites.
No.
At all.
Negative. Correct. Yep. And especially when you look at the stuff going on around us. Like, I hate that sounds weird because it's just like, well, if your friends jump off a bridge, like, I get that. But it's a fact that people are able to go out of state all over every state now. Like, I'm surprised there's not boats going across to Michigan that way yet that can just here. Oh, you need weed? Go on this boat. Like, you know what I mean? It's everywhere, every direction.
Yeah.
So,
nothing against Michigan, but I'd sure love to see some of those tax dollars that we're dumping into Michigan and Illinois and soon to be Minnesota come back into Wisconsin a little.
Right. Right. Like, we're all about helping each other, but we got to keep care of ourselves a little bit.
And our infrastructure woes and our road problems and all those things. So all those millions of tax dollar revenue could, really help us out. So sure. I'd like to see some of that start coming into our state.
Right. Yeah. Felt that. All right. So we're going to do a handy dandy game of Bobby Beans. This is like the podcast after hours. So if you were here for the information, we're now going to kick it and have a little fun. Appreciate everybody stopping out. You guys are amazing. Next week, I will be out in Madison on Tuesday. I got to make a trip over to Milwaukee at some point. If you guys are in the area or if you know of anywhere that we should stop out, please let me know. I love meeting you guys. I love meeting the shops. It's just really cool. Let's keep this thing rolling. Let's keep the pedal to the metal. It's getting out there. Obviously, now we're talking some kind of a bill. I definitely didn't think that would be a thing at this point in time. So at least it's in the news, right? So.
Yeah, I appreciate that fact that there's actually talk on the table. That's a step. That right. It's the bill is not. I don't like the pill bill, but at least the topic of conversation is on the table.
Right. 100%.
Yeah.
All right. So we are going to do a little hangman with Bobby Beans. Now, this is like you said, you've played hangman, right?
Sure.
You haven't played hangman with me.
Okay.
Because where I like to kick it up a notch, I often misspell.
Okay.
I often forget blanks. And I often, when you say A, I got to think in my head, and then I usually fill in 2 of the 3 blanks, and I forget an A. So it's almost like kind of like a really hard crossword and hangman put together.
Okay.
And since we're going to be giving away a little prize here, it's got to be a tough puzzle. Oh, look at here. I'll give you a hint. You can look at the last one we did. Look at, I wrote it down, and it is white outside. It had snowed that day. So sometimes I get some crazy ideas. This one might be way harder. That's the plan. So give me 1 second here. Oh, let's check out our messages. I forgot about that here for a minute. I refuse to ask for permission to use the damn plant, says Joe. Can't.
We shouldn't have to. We're adults.
Right. Oh, Waldo got some tickets. Let's go. Appreciate the support. Really looking forward to it. Boss must have written it by. I swear he did. I can't prove it, but that's the only thing I can come up with. Joe says 10 minutes one way, half hour the other in Illinois. That's what we need to see. Tax dollar help for Wisconsin, says Tammy. Come to Stevens Point. Oh, that's right. I got to make a trip to Wausau next week, so I could probably swoop that. Come to Thorpe. Where the hell is Thorpe? Yeah, anything, hon? You know where Thorpe is?
No.
Oh no.
I know I've been through. I know I've seen it, but I can't tell you exactly where in Wisconsin.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, I'll Google it. Legalized it already. Been waiting quite a while. Felt that. Ooh, Don, I am thinking to Plymouth. I can make it to Plymouth. I love Plymouth. The Torpedo over by Withy. What is Withy? Where you guys come up with these words? Wausau, I'm thinking Wednesday or Thursday, Don. I'll try to get a little thing out there. Add extra body parts. What are you talking about, Dakota? And add extra body parts? What did I miss?
To the Hangman?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's the other thing. Yeah.
He's talking about your crazy.
Okay.
Hangman.
I'm like, what the fuck is that guy? Good call. Cheese capital. Oh, touche. Other side of Wausau. Oh, okay. Oh, dude. All right. So we're gonna do a Wausau, Thorpe, Stevens Point situation coming up. Let's do it. Let's make it happen next week. Well, so I like traveling, but like this week, I kind of burnt myself out for the first time, and just as far as trying to do a little too much driving, I think. So maybe next week I'll focus on the Madison, Milwaukee again with a couple meetings with senators, representatives, and the governor's State of the State address. I'll be there, so that'll be cool. Maybe I can slip a little. Hey man, let's get this thing rolling. Let's see if I can't get that worked in there.
Yeah.
All right, back to the puzzle now. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and then I keep yapping. Josh, you can tell me to shut up. That is also a part of this agreement that you came on here. All right, we're going to do. Okay, don't look at what I'm looking at. You might be able to figure out what I'm going to write.
Okay. Who's guessing? Me? Am I guessing?
No, but I don't want you to know either. You can help the people.
Sure. All right.
You can help the people. Okay, we're going to go tough. Oh, you get to pick the topic. So, like when you watch Wheel of Fortune, it could be like a music title or a song title, movie title. You name. Give me something to run on here. What you got, boss?
I like movie title.
Oh, dude. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of movie buffs out there.
That is fair. This is going to be a movie title tied into, because I like to make this complicated, tied into a factual statement. What do you make of that one, Josh?
Okay.
You nervous yet?
I don't know. I'm excited. Scared maybe a little. I'm just kidding.
All right. Hang on. I got to spell this out. Make sure I got my correct amount of spaces. This is the hard part, guys. Just hang on now. Okay. And shout out to Susie. If you're still here, Susie's my lifesaver. I've just learned anything I write that is going to be published, I send it to Susie first and it's always the most bizarre, easily thing that I should have caught. So shout out to Susie. She catches
that Susie. That's local by me here in Appleton.
Yeah.
Right on. I can't wait to meet you, Susie.
Definitely, Susie's the lady, man.
All right.
Black sheep. Oh, hopefully you guys didn't hear that. I just said part of it. All right. Now I just need to make some blanks. Everybody, here we go. So the first person, honey, you're going to have to be the judge. You're going to have to watch to see who guesses this correctly first. That's who's going to win the tickets. You got that? We've got a confirmation from the wife. Let the games begin. All right. Do. Okay. And then 3. And then 4. Maybe these are just random numbers. You guys don't really even know, do you? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa.
Getting a little carried away there. Well, I'm adding one more word, huh? Because it just sounds better this way. Okay, you got that? Oh, she's even writing it down. Okay, here we go. Let's get a letter on the board here, folks. The hardest game of Hangman ever.
What kind of movie title is that? That's so long.
It's a movie title that's tied into a factual statement, and I'm not going to write all that out.
Okay.
All right, T. Honey, if you could help me. If I miss a letter, please let me know. She gave me the thumbs up. T. There are two T's. Okay. You could call them TTs.
TTs.
Oh, God. I need to grow up sometimes, man. All right. No, actually, if my wife's here, I can say that, right?
Sure.
Oh, gosh, the letters are pouring in. All right, I got to focus. Okay. Tammy and Don with a S. There is an S. Is there another one? There is. Two S's. Great job, folks. Thank you, hon. Waldo Hempworks with an N. And. Honey, there's no N, right? What? She's looking at. Oh, your comments are different than mine for some reason. Well, that I can't help. N is next. Is there any? There's no N's, right, hon? She's my thinker, and she's not thinking. You guys, you get a head, an eye, and a torso. All for missing one letter. That sucks. Okay, what's up after that? We've got A from Don in Walsall. We've got 1A. Good job, Don in Wausau. Jill says E. Oop, I know I got a couple of them. I feel like I got to be the organ player at a baseball game, like to fill in between at bats. So I'm making you guys little musical sound bites here, and they're even some of them are baseball themed, like da 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 da. All right, there we go. Wow, there's a lot of E's so far. That was very impressive. You might be the MVP so far, Jill. Don with a H. We got an H. We got another H. Two H's. HE double hockey sticks.
All right.
Waldo Hempworks with an M. We do have an M in there. Do we have an M and an M? We only got one M. No M and M for you. Joe with a P and Randall with a P. P. There's one P. All right. One P in there. Did I miss any letters? Let's look back here. S. Did I have someone said T? Yep, we got the T. All right, keep it rolling here, folks. This is not going to get any easier. So if you just sit here and wait, it's going to get harder. Oh, someone gets an I. Okay, Jill's got an I. We do have one I. Another I. Real quick, when you spell Mississippi, am I the only person that's... What are you pointing at, huh? Oh, I missed a letter. Oh, thank you. This isn't fun when she helps. It's just too easy now. Don't help these people out. Whose side are you on here? Oh, Waldo won.
She got it.
Waldo took it home.
Nice.
Black Sheep is the best movie ever. Oh. Let's go. It's Black Sheep and Tommy Boy, but Black Sheep I think was the one that I saw first. I can't remember which one actually chronologically came first.
They're both excellent films, though.
Right? If anyone was interested, Chris Farley is my idol. And it was because he just made me laugh my ass off at a very young age, and I could watch that. It's weird because most movies, like, I can't watch them over and over, but those movies I can. I love it.
College in Wisconsin too, I believe.
Yep, Marquette.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, he graduated in 12 years.
yeah.
I think that's one of his lines.
Yeah.
So shout out to Waldo. Make sure you're fat guy in a little coat. I could give you a little rendition. I'm sure I can find my wife's coat, but no. Appreciate you guys supporting and playing the game. Waldo, now you're able to get some extra tickets, so you can use those as a giveaway if you'd like. Shoot me a PM and I'll get you a promo code so you can claim those tickets. Thank you to Josh and the Flower Pot for sponsoring tonight's show.
Thanks for having us, bro.
Yeah, for joining us tonight.
It's good to see you, like always.
No, definitely, dude. I love catching up with you, man. Again, if you guys are in Appleton, even if you go to Michigan, this guy will talk cannabis any day, anytime, anywhere, and and most of you guys are the same way. So let's just start having fun with cannabis. So again,
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's just chop it up, and
bro, what
find
if
it.
we had like a quick trip,
Yeah,
a trip quick
yeah.
at the Flower Pot next to Quick Trip.
Oh, yeah. That would
Stop
be.
by to Trip Quick.
Yeah. The
No,
trip
no,
quick.
no.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be doing a big thing here. This is our second store. Is this okay if I shout this out real quick?
Oh,
We're
absolutely.
going to be doing a grand opening for 420, like most hemp dispensaries are. But we hope to have some music and some food trucks that are starting to reach out in the area. So, yeah, excited about that.
I'm raising my hand.
Yeah.
Can you make sure you have a taco truck for me?
That's what I'm going to definitely try to do. Yes, definitely. They got Diablo's Taco down here, and people, they're all over the place. So
I've heard of them. I haven't got to try them yet.
yeah,
But
next time you come down to the valley, let's grab some Diablos. There's one a couple blocks away. So, and we're located right across from the Glass Nickel on West College Ave here in Appleton, and in De Pere, we're right over the bridge in West De Pere.
oh yeah, that's right. That's a pop-up spot right there.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. That was my first dispensary, and then we were lucky enough to open the second one. So we're really excited about this. We're 2 months into this one. So yeah, come and see us if you guys are looking for some anything, any product that you're looking for. I'm sure we can help you find something.
Legal product. Come on.
Legal products, very much.
You can have some people. Yeah, never mind. No, we appreciate you guys. I really appreciate everyone's support. Every day, all the comments, everything. It just keeps me going. Again, this is on the all of us thing, and I'm just kind of the crazy guy that's willing to travel and try to get you guys as much information as I can. Appreciate all the ideas.
Me too.
Absolutely.
We really do, brother.
And absolutely, man. It's a pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Glad that we'll be able to do this for a while. Again, super shout out to Higher Love for being a big part of the podcast. Obviously, a huge part of that, but that's also what helps me be able to keep doing this too. So, really appreciate that. Appreciate you over there, Josh, Luke, everybody at the Flower Pot, Mad Hatter, and a lot more businesses that I'll shout out on the next couple ones. I know I've been taking a lot of pictures. I haven't got a chance to upload them. I love you guys. I'm going to get you some love. I'm going to take a couple days off from traveling here. So,
yeah,
definitely, dude. Living in a van down by the river, best skit ever. I actually, if you're lucky, maybe this year I'll dress up as that exact character again. I do have the outfit for it. So
I hope to see a lot of people that I've been talking to online at Lebowski Fest.
Dude. Maybe I'll do this Walter thing. I think we're gonna make it happen. So
yeah.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
everybody. Have a good night. Take her easy, guys.